Have you ever wondered if the Rosetta Stone wasn't just a lucky find, but a deliberate key to ancient secrets that the powers that be fought over to control history itself? Welcome back to the Jeremy Ryan Slate Show. I am your host, Jeremy Ryan Slate, the CEO and co-founder of Command Your Brand. We help our clients to make an impact on some of the biggest podcasts out there. You can grab our free Command Your Empire resource over at commandyourempire.com. Reminder, if you're brand new to the show, to like this video, leave us a comment, and smash that subscribe button if you want to learn more of history's mysteries. And today we're uncovering one of archaeology's greatest enigmas, the secret of the Rosetta Stone. If you're like me with a podcast background where I've interviewed historians and conspiracy enthusiasts, you know artifacts like this aren't just mere relics. They're portals to lost worlds, often tangled in power plays and hidden motives. Picture this. In 196 BC, in the bustling city of Memphis, Egypt, priests carve a decree on the back of a granite slab in 3 scripts promising eternal glory to a young king. It's buried for millennia. It's unearthed in 1799 amid Napoleon's invasion, sparking a decipherment race that unlocks ancient history, Egypt's voice. But was it coincidence or a calculated move in a larger game of imperial intrigue and suppressed knowledge? Well, here's why I find this fascinating. As someone who's always chased historical angles with a bit of a conspiratorial bend, the Rosetta Stone isn't just about hieroglyphs. It's about who controls the narrative of the past and what truths they might bury. Today, we'll deliver verifiable history, names, dates, and places from sources like Britannica, the British Museum, and History.com. We'll balance it with plausible theories that make you question the official story. We'll keep it 60% grounded in history to build the foundation, with 40% conspiracy to ignite that intrigue. And stick around because ongoing debates about its repatriation add a modern twist. If you're casually into history or conspiracies, this is for you. No Egyptology degree needed, just curiosity. So let's dig in. All right, to unlock the Rosetta Stone's secrets, we start in the sands of ancient Egypt during the Ptolemaic Dynasty, a Hellenistic era blending Greek and Egyptian cultures. The stone itself is a granodiorite stele about 3 feet 9 inches tall and 2 feet 4.5 inches wide. Inscribed in 196 BC with a decree from priests of Memphis, the ancient capital near modern Cairo. This was the 9th year of Ptolemy V Epiphanes, a pharaoh who ascended at the age of 5 in 204 BC after his parents' mysterious deaths, possibly in a court conspiracy involving Ptolemy IV's mistress, and this is per historical accounts. The decree issued on the first anniversary of his coronation affirms Ptolemy V's divine status and lists his benefactions, tax exemptions for temples, grain donations, and military support against local rebels. Per the British Museum, it was one of many mass-produced stelae, which are stone slabs placed in temples across Egypt to disseminate the priest's agreement, ensuring loyalty in quite turbulent times. The text appears in 3 particular scripts. 14 lines of hieroglyphs at the top, which are sacred carvings used for monuments, 32 lines of Demotic, a cursive everyday Egyptian script, and 54 lines of ancient Greek there at the bottom, the language of the ruling Ptolemies, which descended from Ptolemy I Soter, Alexander the Great's general, who founded the dynasty in 305 BC. This trilingual setup was a standard for the Ptolemaic decrees, bridging Greek rulers and their Egyptian subjects. This is verifiable from the Stone's translation, which was published by the British Museum, which matches other surviving copies, like the Philae obelisk. As a podcaster who's delved into ancient power dynamics, I see this as a bit of propaganda genius. Priests legitimizing a boy king amid a lot of unrest. Conspiratorially, was the decree hiding deeper Ptolemaic plots, like suppressing native revolts with false divinity claims? It's plausible given the era's rebellions in the Nile Delta, as noted on History.com's Ptolemaic entries. This ancient blueprint sets the stage for its rediscovery. Fast forward to the late 18th century, when France, under Napoleon Bonaparte, launched a bold invasion of Egypt in 1798, not just for conquest, but to study its antiquities and challenge British trade routes. Napoleon, with 35,000 troops and 160 scholars, landed in Alexandria on July 1st, 1798, defeating Mamluk forces at the Battle of the Pyramids near Cairo. Per Britannica, the campaign aimed to uncover Egypt's secrets and inspired by a bit of Enlightenment curiosity. On July 15th, 1799, during the siege of Accra, but back in Egypt, French soldiers under Captain Pierre-François Bouchard were fortifying Fort Julian near Rosetta, which is now Rashid, 35 miles northeast of Alexandria in the Nile Delta. While digging foundations, they unearthed the stone, embedded in old Mamluk wall. It was likely reused from earlier antiquity. Bouchard, recognizing its value, noting the Greek text, and it was rushed to scholars in Cairo. The full expedition's Description de l'Égypte, published in 1809 to 1829, first described it publicly after British victory at the Battle of the Nile in 1798 and the French surrender in 1801. The Treaty of Alexandria forced France to hand over artifacts, including the Rosetta Stone, to the British under General John Haley Hutchinson. It arrived in Portsmouth, England in February 1802 and was presented to King George III. And it has been in the British Museum since July 1802. From my perspective, this chapter screams Imperial rivalry. Knowledge is a weapon. Conspiratorially, was Napoleon's scientific expedition a cover for hunting esoteric Egyptian treasures like lost Hermetic wisdom? It's quite plausible given his interest in Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism, as speculated in historical analysis from the Smithsonian Magazine. So comment below. If you were a French soldier in 1799, would you have kept the stone secret or reported it? I want to know. Comment below. Let's discuss it in the comments. With the stone in British hands, a decipherment race ignited between England and France. First, Thomas Young, 1773 to 1829, an English polymath and physician, studied plaster casts that were sent to him. In 1814, he identified the repeating cartouche, over royal name ring, as Ptolemaios, proving some hieroglyphs were phonetic, not just pictorial, as published in his 1819 book, An Account of Some Recent Discoveries. But Young hit a wall, assuming most were ideograms. Enter Jean-François Champollion, a French prodigy born in 1790 who learned Coptic, which was the last stage of ancient Egyptian, from his childhood. Using Young's work and the stone's Greek translation, Champollion cracked it in 1822. On September 27, 1822, he burst into the Académie des Inscriptions et Belles Lettres in Paris. Once again, I apologize for my terrible French pronunciations. I don't speak French, but I try my best to pronounce it. Announcing hieroglyphs as a mixed system: alphabetic, syllabic, and determinative signs with the demotic confirming the Greek decree. Per the British Museum, Champollion Letters de Massier detailed it, and Thomas Young attended it, later praising him. This breakthrough unlocked thousands of texts, revealing the pharaohs' lives and many myths. Personally, this hits like a podcast breakthrough moment. Years of grinding leading to a revelation. Conspiratorially, did national rivalries delay full publication with Brits and French hoarding insights? Well, it's quite plausible, as diplomatic tensions lingered post-Battle of Waterloo. Now the conspiratorial layer. There's some plausible theories here rooted in history with speculation that we've labeled as such. First, Imperial theft. The British seizure in 1801 as seen as a cultural plunder, fueling modern repatriation calls from Egypt. Per BBC Culture, Arabic scholars like Ibn Washia in the 9th century had partially deciphered hieroglyphs pre-Rosetta using Coptic roots, yet Western credit goes to Champollion. It's quite plausible. As for that conspiracy angle, Eurocentric history suppressed Islamic contributions to claim a bit of superiority, echoing colonial narratives. Maybe, maybe not. Second, Napoleon's motives. His expedition included occult experts seeking ancient magic or Atlantis links. I know it's speculative, but it's tied his Egyptian obsession, as the Smithsonian's 2022 article claims. Did he know the stone's location via his spies? Well, it's unproven, but it is quite intriguing. Third, our always popular elite control. Once deciphered, did governments hide sensitive texts like advanced Egyptian tech or religious secrets? I know it's a bit fringe and there's no evidence, but whispers in conspiracy circles suggest the Vatican or the British Museum vaults hold quite a bit more. What do you think about these theories? Comment below. Colonial theft or a deeper cover-up? Drop your thoughts. I want to hear them. Might just take a look at one on a future video. The Rosetta Stone's impact endures. It birthed Egyptology as a subject, revealing 3,000 years of history. Housed in room 4 of the British Museum, it draws millions yearly with a touch replica in the Enlightenment Gallery. In 2022, the Hieroglyphics Unlocking Ancient Egypt exhibit showcased it alongside decipherment tools. As for modern debates, well, Egypt demands repatriation like the Parthenon marbles, citing UNESCO conventions. As of 2025, per recent reports, talks continue, but the museum resists claiming universal heritage. Conspiratorially, why the holdout? It's purely speculative on this end, but is it to maintain Western narrative control? Maybe. As I wrap, here's why I'm hooked. In my podcast days, stories like this show history as a battlefield, just like Waterloo. Winners write it, but artifacts like the Rosetta Stone may just fight back. As always, thanks for joining me on the Jeremy Ryan Slate Show. If this episode cracked your curiosity, hit that subscribe button, like, and share. Head over to jeremyryanslate.com for more history with a bit of a twist, as well as podcasts, merch, and a whole bunch of other great stuff. Secret key or stolen treasure? What's your view on the Rosetta Stone? Comment below now because I want to hear from you, and I'll see you next time on the Jeremy Ryan Slate Show. Stay curious.